Hey everyone, and welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please be sure to follow and leave a 5-star rating. Okay, folks, what can we expect this week for Bitcoin? We know we're using Bitcoin as the measuring stick for altcoins, right? Because as Bitcoin moves, altcoins will follow. And we're still waiting to see a true breakout for Bitcoin. Right now, it's been, some higher highs and higher lows, but nothing too significant. So maybe this week we go back over 90K and the chop continues. From a larger time frame, we're waiting to see when gold and silver will top out, whether that be a local top or the ultimate blow off top for those assets. Because if you look at their charts, they're going parabolic. Gold over $5,000 and its RSI in a daily chart is actually in the overbought zone. So you can anticipate some sort of pullback maybe in the coming weeks. In addition, silver also in the overbought zone, also hitting new all-time highs. So precious metals have been going parabolic, guys. And what we have seen throughout this bull market is that when gold cools down, Bitcoin runs, right? The rotational liquidity takes place. So we're going to have to be patient, and it could be Bitcoin does a slow, steady chop, where it's forming higher highs and higher lows. And then once gold and silver and precious metals cool down, then Bitcoin starts ripping and altcoins as well. The big question we've been talking about is it just simply a relief rally that rolls over into a bear market, or is it a move to new all-time highs? And a positive sign, if you're looking at Bitcoin in terms of gold, if it's measured in gold versus US dollar, it's currently in a accumulation range where it's almost bottoming out and ready to reverse. So it's looking good here. Here's what one analyst said, showing the chart of Bitcoin versus gold. He says BTC/gold clean wave 5 up and ABC down. Second lowest 1 week RSI reading ever, record low 1 week MACD reading. Every single time the RSI has approached any level near this, it has been a total bottom as it gets. Now, this is not feelings or emotions, right? This is simply the data on the charts. So you have to respect it. Now he continues, he says, so we currently have an on record pullback here, whilst also having people acting like this has never happened before, which happens at every low, insane amounts of grave dancing from euphoric metal holders. So people are saying Bitcoin's dead, gold and silver is winning, right? The euphoria is in the precious metals market, while the sentiment is in fear in crypto. And remember, markets don't continue like that all the time. The same applies for crypto. Crypto does not stay in the euphoric zone forever. Precious metals are not going to stay in the euphoric zone forever. So this is where we have to be patient. So he says here, deeply negative Bitcoin and crypto sentiment. It is literally everywhere. And he says, this is what we see throughout history and time again at the high time frame bottoms. So this Bitcoin in terms of gold chart is looking very, very good, folks. So let's see what it brings us. We're going to have to be patient here. And as we've been talking about, the Wyckoff accumulation model is playing out here, where it could go down and test 78K, kind of double bottoming, because Bitcoin has already touched 78K so far in this correction. So let's see, folks. We could see that double bottom before we move. It's not guaranteed to happen, but it seems to be playing out that way. In addition, I've been highlighting the DXY is breaking down. And if that continues to break down, guys, that's very bullish for risk assets. And it could be very bullish for the stock market and crypto while precious metals cool down. So we shall see. Now, folks, this episode is brought to you by iTrust Capital, which makes it easy to buy, sell, trade crypto and precious metals. And you can do so in an IRA, which gives you huge tax benefits. So iTrust Capital is giving you an amazing option here. If you are a long-term holder of these assets, to just put it in their IRA and let it sit and grow over time and accumulate wealth, and you avoid some of the tax implications if you were just using a crypto exchange. So this is an amazing option. And again, huge tax advantages, and you can buy, sell, and trade crypto and precious metals 24/7. It's low cost, no monthly fee. They also have a premium custody account. Now, I believe this custody option is the second safest way to custody your crypto assets behind self-custody. Many of you know I'm a big believer in self-custody, but this is a great option. They use institutional grade custody such as Coinbase Prime, Fidelity Digital Assets, and much more. It's a closed loop system, so even if someone gets into your account, they can't withdraw anything. It's low fees. You can buy and sell crypto 24/7. Now, iTrust Capital added USDC stablecoin to their options as far as assets. And folks, you can earn rewards up to 2% here. And I know I've told some of you that, Coinbase, for example, offers stablecoin yield on USDC. Well, they took it away for standard accounts. You actually have to have I believe, the premium account with them. So iTrust Capital doesn't do that. So you have any account at any level can be able to participate in this and earn your rewards. And, while you may be holding some dry powder, you can put it in USDC, let it earn. And when you're ready to re-enter the market, you simply, do what you got to do. So this is another great option that iTrust offers here, folks. So again, check them out. They're offering a great option. I have an account with them. So if you use my link, folks, you can get $100 funding bonus. So check it out. Great option if you are a long-term holder and investor in crypto and precious metals. All the links will be in the description. Now, folks, we have huge Ripple XRP news. So Reese Merrick, who is the Senior Executive Officer and Managing Director of the Middle East and Africa at Ripple, he tweeted out more big news from the Middle East. Ripple is partnering with Jeel Movement, the innovation arm of Riyadh Bank, to advance Saudi Arabia's financial future through blockchain innovation. The kingdom's visionary leadership has established Saudi Arabia as a forward-thinking global hub for digital transformation. Together with Jeel, we'll explore use cases for cross-border payments, digital asset custody, and tokenization in support of the Vision 2030 agenda. He says, I am excited to help shape the future of Saudi Arabia's financial infrastructure. This is huge news. Ripple continues to build their network of partnerships with banks and financial institutions across the globe. And they're going to present the XRP ledger for tokenization. As far as custody, Ripple has acquired many custodial companies, so they're going to be able to offer that. And they're going to, of course, have these folks use their stablecoin where possible. So very bullish. It's network effects, right? You're building out your network with different institutions and you get them to use your technologies in different ways. So this is really great news. Now, I will be doing a fireside chat on X with Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse on February 11th at 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. GMT. And the name of that fireside chat is The Era of XRP in Capital Markets. And the topics we're going to dive into is the macro shift in institutional adoption and public market acceptance, XRP's growing use in capital markets infrastructure, longevity, stability, and community underpinning XRP. So guys, make sure you sign up. I'll put the link and the tweet, or actually the link to the tweet, in the description so you can go register and check it out. This is going to be a good one. We're going to talk about all the latest and greatest with XRP and institutional adoption. So things really moving ahead with Ripple. I am still bullish on XRP, still my number one holding. So make sure you guys tune in for this one. Okay, moving ahead, $14 trillion BlackRock files for a new iShares Bitcoin Premium Income ETF. BlackRock continues to double down on Bitcoin and crypto ETFs, guys. This is incredible. And they have the fastest growing ETF in the history of ETFs. They have the largest Bitcoin ETF. And just late last year, we heard that the Bitcoin ETF was actually the biggest revenue driver for BlackRock. And yesterday I reported that Rick Ryder, the odds of him becoming next Fed chair is increasing. And we, of course, discussed the implications of that, that it would have on crypto and much more. So the fund would offer Bitcoin exposure while generating yield by actively selling call options on the $70 billion plus iShares Bitcoin Trust, known as IBIT. The strategy aims to monetize Bitcoin's volatility, providing consistent income while potentially reducing downside compared to holding BTC directly. It signals the next phase of Bitcoin ETFs, moving beyond pure price exposure towards structured income-focused products following IBIT's historic success. So this is very bullish. I'm waiting to see when BlackRock files for an XRP and Solana ETF. I do believe that's going to come at some point, but that they might be waiting and timing it with the market. But let's see. Now, speaking of ETFs, VanEck expands crypto ETF lineup with the Spot Avalanche product. So the native token to the Avalanche blockchain is AVAX. I am a AVAX token holder, and I'm bullish on this project. So we continue to see new altcoin ETF projects getting launched and by multiple issuers. These are all great on-ramps that I think once the market starts picking up, folks, we will see a lot of capital flow into these ETFs. Okay, next up, ZeroHash is in talks to raise $250 million at a $1.5 billion valuation after walking away from MasterCard takeover. So blockchain infrastructure firm ZeroHash is in talks to raise $250 million at a $1.5 billion valuation, according to a person with knowledge of the matter. The company recently pulled out of acquisition talks with MasterCard, though the payments giant is still considering a strategic investment in ZeroHash and discussions remain ongoing. The raise comes amid rising demand for enterprise-grade crypto infrastructure as more financial institutions move to offer tokenized assets, stablecoins, and on-chain settlement at scale. ZeroHash didn't respond to requests for comment by the time of publication. The amount could change as discussions are still ongoing. Fortune reported in October that MasterCard was in late-stage talks to acquire ZeroHash in a deal that would value the possible takeover candidate at up to $2 billion. So we are seeing incredible demand for crypto infrastructure companies, whether that be custody, wallets, stablecoins, tokenization, and much more. And you can see companies like MasterCard, TradFi, institutions are trying to buy these crypto companies. And I believe once the Clarity Act is passed, we're going to see even more of this. And it may not just be TradFi buying or acquiring these crypto companies, but vice versa. The crypto companies looking to buy some of these TradFi companies. Now, it depends on the size of those TradFi companies, right? I don't think anybody can just go buy MasterCard, for example. You know, you need insane amounts of capital. But just look at Coinbase and Ripple and the acquisitions they've made, right? So really, really interesting. And it's exciting to see this happening. There's kind of a convergence of TradFi and crypto taking place here. Very, very bullish. Okay, moving ahead, Rhode Island introduces a bill to create a legislative commission to study Bitcoin, crypto, and blockchain. Now, I know this is not the most sexiest news, but to see many states across the United States all opening up in different ways to crypto. I've been reporting to you guys, are looking to establish Bitcoin reserves. Some have already done it, and they're buying like Bitcoin ETFs and much more. And you're going to see more and more of this, guys, because crypto is here to stay. There's a lot of companies and businesses launching in different states, and these states want to embrace these companies to get the tax revenue, to create jobs for their people, and much more. So very bullish to see things like this. It's incredible. Now, as far as crypto legislation is concerned, the Senate Agriculture Committee has rescheduled its crypto market structure markup for 10:30 a.m. on Thursday. That was supposed to happen sooner, but due to the storm and the weather and the snowstorm and all that on the East Coast, a lot of things got pushed back. But progress, even though it's, we've been feeling or getting some friction and some roadblocks a little bit, but this is how the sausage making process it happens. So let's see what comes out of this markup. And a lot of people are waiting for this bill, not just the crypto industry. Wall Street, TradFi, they're ready. So look at this. Wall Street Jefferies sees market structure bill as tokenization inflection point. They're all chomping at the bit, ready to build. So infrastructure gains and regulatory momentum are accelerating tokenization. A market structure bill is the missing link for the next phase of digital asset adoption. Absolutely. So even Wall Street is ready for this, right? And it goes back to what I've been saying, that I don't believe market makers are leaving this type of landmark moment on the table, and let it pass by and we go into a bear market. I believe a blow off top is still to come. That's not guaranteed. I could be wrong, but I'm just being honest with you guys and sharing my perspective. You could absolutely disagree with me, and you could leave your comments in the comment section. Just be respectful. But that's what I'm personally thinking. And I, would love to know if you guys disagree, but something is brewing here in Wall Street, and everybody is waiting. And I think the setup is perfect for a face melting blow off top where majority of people are depressed, they're tired, they're angry, crypto's dead, look at gold and silver. That is the perfect setup because the market always does the opposite. Guys, if you study markets, you will see that. So let's see, let's see what happens, guys. But I think a lot of people are waiting for this, and I believe once it's passed, the floodgates are going to open. The trillions of dollars are going to come in. Okay, folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't as yet. And please be sure to support the podcast by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It is 100% free on Substack. Link will be in the description. Grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto, on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. And if you want to expand your knowledge around crypto, folks, I have a great course. It's comprehensive. It teaches you everything you need to know about crypto. Check it out at mycryptocourse.com. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.